today for our fabulous Tuesday tidbit. I would like to orient you to a couple of things. We may have some new folks joining in today. Um, because this is a one-way delivery, I get to talk to you and you get to chat with me in the chat. So already some of our friends are popping in, letting us know where they're joining from. Let's all do that. I'm joining you from my couch. Can I say that? Is that all right? And so it's always fun to see where we're joining from all over the province. One of my absolute favorite things about these tidbits. And can I say that COVID, is that okay? Like that it's given us this opportunity to, spread the love throughout the province. And Sarah, that's awesome. Kitchen table high five. I'd also like to show you up just above the PowerPoint here, you'll see a section of emojis. Feel free to use those non-sparingly. Who doesn't love a good emoji, right? So you can look at this, 500 points right there. And that's how you get points. They're redeemable for nothing, but still those points are there. And don't we feel better? Speaking of participation awards, I had this conversation the other day. Whatever, it makes us feel happy. So there we are. You are with Workplace Education Manitoba. Today's topic, respectful workplace. We have had this topic recently in an expanded version. The reason we're bringing you this again, the same type of thing, is because we could talk about respect every single day, all day long, and start to infuse it into our workplaces. Secondly, coming up in the new year, we will have a discussion on respect for expectations. So there are lots of good stuff coming up in the new year. Our vision at WEM is that all Manitobans have access to the essential skills, knowledge, and training required to determine and pursue their goals related to learning, the workplace, and life. So what does that mean? We're looking at our essential skills, which we'll get to in just a moment. But my hopes and dreams for our session today would be that we can take this information and apply it in all of those areas for us, for our own personal development, for our professional development, and also for relationship development outside of our work, in our communities, in our homes. And for more information on that, you can visit our website of wem.mb.ca, or if you're curious and would like more information about our funding and things like that, info@wem.mb.ca. Now, speaking of, we are able to bring this funded training to you zero cost, right? So big fat thank you to Employment and Social Development Canada and Manitoba Education and Training. This project was jointly funded through Human Resource Skills Development Canada and Entrepreneurship Training. As I said, helping people to develop essential skills that are needed for work, learning, and life. So what do we do at WEM? Great question. Our main mission, as we said, is to bring those essential skills to everybody. And we love to work on continuous improvement, which is one of the 9 essential skills. How do we do that? One is through our West Center, which stands for Workplace Essential Skills Training Center, where you can come in and do upskilling. One of the big ones we've seen over the past little while is digital literacy, or in other words, computer skills. And so hopefully soon we can reopen our centers. It's been a kind of a open, close situation, but we are still there to provide that support and handle assessments, offer specialized support. And so for that, you would need to book an appointment. And then the other thing we do is bring workplace training. So we'll come into your workplace, we do an assessment, we look at those gaps. Many times we think it's one thing, and then our results show something else, and then we're able to build for you. We can customize that training so it's specific to you and your team members. And the third way we provide this type of support with our essential skills would be this way, through our tidbit training. We also do our expanded workshops as well, as many of you know. And we are currently, we're getting close. We're getting close with our HR toolkit, which is an 8-part series. So that one's a nice meaty one with some really great stuff to increase and boost or remind you of those HR roles and responsibilities. Now, just back for workplace training for 1 second, maybe because it's so near and dear to my heart. Currently, we are unable to enter into work spaces. However, we've done a lot of virtual training, and that seems to be the way of the world right now. And that's actually working out well for a lot of organizations to be able to have that type of reach with the members in their organization. So if that's something you're interested in, let us know. We'd love to come by and meet with you virtually. So those 9 essential skills: reading, writing, document use, digital literacy, numeracy, oral communication, working with others, thinking skills, and continuous learning. For our topic today of respect, I'd love to hear from you which of these skills you feel, let's say our top 2 or 3, that we're really pulling from when we talk about respect. Now, because I'm an essential skills practitioner, I could tell you how they all work, definitely, but let's look at those top few. Yeah, Candace, definitely working with others and oral communication. Totally. Absolutely, guys. Yes, Devin, yeah, working with others for sure. And sometimes, that's our challenge and sometimes it's our opportunity. So um, today, we're going to sniff at what respect means, what it looks like in your workplace, what happens when you do not respect others, and how do we build it? Yes, thank you, everybody. So, what is respect? What does it really mean? I'd love to hear that. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to try to be quiet for a second and give you a moment to think about that. What is respect, and how do we show it? Thanks, Gail. Yeah, Lee, you too. Yeah, listening skills, right? Being a good listener. I think that's one way we really show respect. It helps us to truly connect with others. Mark, we embrace differences, be inclusive with engagement, treat others fairly. Thank you for not saying equally. It's a totally different thing, isn't it? Treating others in a professional manner, trying to understand others' viewpoints, which can be challenging. I'm really, really noticing how important empathy is in everything that we do, including this very topic of respect. Often we are quick to align with our own beliefs and find it more challenging or difficult to understand other people's point of view, especially if we've been hurt by them, right? If we've had our feelings hurt or physically hurt or whatever, right? Both of those, it can be really difficult for us to listen with empathy and try to understand others' viewpoints. Dana, yes, treating people with dignity. Isn't that amazing? Having a regard for others and their ideas, opinions, and perspectives. Thanks, Diane. Hmm. Hi, Stacy. We're talking about what respect is and how we can show it. Mark's saying here, as leaders, we need to understand cultural diversity and differences, need to know how our belief system works and our blind spots. And this is, Mark, this is a truth I think of when we're looking at conflict as well. How does diversity work with that? How do values, do we know our bias, right? Those blind spots we have 100%. I absolutely believe this. Clearly, I'm here, right? I do believe it. Now, what happens? This maybe is a bit of a loaded question. What happens when people don't respect each other? I wish we had a poop emoji because I think that that would sum it up quite nicely, right? Bad stuff happens. Like what? Sad face emoji. Yes, you guys have my heart. Definitely, Beth. Breakdown of communication, resentment, communication collapse. I like that wording, Devin. That's good. There it is. Thanks, Stacy. I wondered if you would find it. Candace, yes. Well, and if we combine Stacy and Candace's comment, it equals what Diane is saying here of conflict. And Hillary, totally a toxic workplace. poor relationships, a poor working environment. You guys know what I'm going to say, don't you? A big fat lack of trust also, right? We see this through gossip, backstabbing, sabotage, exclusion, and what? Wait, there's more, right, Mark? Yeah, mistrust. We don't have a foundation for trust if we don't have respect. It's pretty impossible. How many of you would say you give respect freely? Depression, Sherilyn, good one. Well, it's not that it's good, but great observation. Do we give respect freely? Thanks. Yes, I hope so. Mark, you're speaking my language, right? Respect is given freely and is not earned. It's just what we do. We extend that respect always, always. Oh my gosh, Devin, this is another one of my languages. It's a baseline, right? Of just human. That's just what we do. It is challenging. And if you're quiet right now because you're like, no, respect needs to be earned, I hope that by the end of our time together today, that you will see how respect is given first, right? As we extend that. Otherwise, like we just said, we don't have a place to put our trust. Respect is a key requirement for a healthy work environment. You guys said it, right? Otherwise, we end up with toxicity in the work. I'm rolling up to see who it was that said that. Oh, guys, it's somewhere in here, right? Someone said it. I know I read it. So thank you for bringing that up. It promotes teamwork. It increases productivities and efficiencies in the workplace. Is it possible that when we extend respect and build trust, that when we go through change or other difficulties, that we might be able to pass through it with more ease than if we didn't have that respect? I think so. And maybe that's my unicorn and lollipop land. But I think when we have that baseline, like we're saying, Devin said, our respect given freely, Mark said, that we're able to move through those difficult times with better ease. Not to say that all of our problems are gone, it's just how are we going to work together? Teamwork, increased productivity. And this third point here, it lets employees know that they are valued for their abilities, qualities, and achievements, and that their role is important to the company's success. My invitation to each one of us today is to seek out someone that we can celebrate, thank them for their abilities, their qualities, and their achievements. To provide that positive feedback, it's a great way to build respect. Mark, everybody wants to go to work and do a good job. I believe that as well. They also bring baggage from home. It is a safe, respectful environment. If a safe, respectful environment is created, open and honest discussions can take place, leading to understanding. We don't have to like everything. We have to seek to understand. Me too, Sarah. Big heart emoji. Definitely. Thanks, Mark. I love and hate the word if because it's true. Not everybody has this. Not everybody feels safe or respected in their work environment. Now, if that is you, I had this thought. I went for a tiny walk before our session today, thinking about our conversation. And one of the pounding thoughts in my mind was, what if we're that person that's waiting around for that culture of respect to be created? We may end up old, wrinkly, and dusty if we're waiting around for this to happen. So the second invitation, number one, was to provide a positive feedback or a thank you to someone so that they know that they're valued. And Number two is to, if it's not happening, to create that environment of respect, starting with self. Just like trust starts with self, respect does too. Now, being respected and valued promotes a positive work culture, we know this, where employees are loyal, fulfilled, and motivated to perform at their very best for their company. Motivation is an inside job. I can't motivate you. Motivational, you can see my air quotes. Well, you can't because I have my camera on. Motivational speakers, they can provide that environment where we have the opportunity to feel motivated. We can encourage, but that is an inside job, right? So that being respected and valued is how we get there. And the reason I have written here, not because they have to, not because our workers have to or we have to as employees, but because we want to. Which one? It's not my job to make you happy. It's my job to make you feel enabled, right? That I'm helping you to remove some of those blocks. Yes. Respect in an aspect of your own character. Oh, Amanda, this might be our matching tattoo a moment. Mm-hmm. And Gail, it's so true. A thank you is so simple and so huge. Absolutely. Those who are not respectful to others are unprofessional and a threat to the health of their company. Agree, disagree? We see this, or we have seen it. Maybe we're the customer that watched it in another organization, but it's true. It's a threat to the health of the company, to that person's reputation, as well as the reputation of the organization. Respect is the fundamental right of every employee in every workplace. Burn this into your mind, friends. It's a fundamental right. If people feel as if they are treated with respect, they usually respond with respect for coworkers and bosses. I have to brag for a moment. I live in that land. I feel I feel like I'm treated with respect. And maybe that's because I extend it as well. Who knows, right? What came first, the chicken or the egg? But employees who feel respected respond with responsible actions. We heard earlier, I think it was Devin had said about being professional. Absolutely. Those are those types of actions that we see. And we're not going to hang out here too long because we already said it, right? Part of respect is praise and feedback so that people know how they're doing at work. Now, here's the thing, like emotional intelligence, like civility, respect also means having the tough conversations. Ugh, gross, right? Respect also means providing corrective feedback so that people know, how they're doing, how exactly what we have here, how they're doing at work. We need to know both. Employers express respect for employees when they treat employees as if they are adults who are capable of making smart choices, that we're giving the benefit of the doubt, right? That trust comes with both character and competence, right? We see both. And Stacey, I agree. We need to check ourselves, definitely. In a respectful workplace, everyone is equal. They just have different jobs and roles. Does that make sense? And like Mark said, it's not that we're treating people equally. We are equal. We're treating people fairly. So, like you, your coworkers, your reports, your superiors have rights, opinions, wishes, experience, and competence. And sometimes when they don't agree with us, we're like, but do they have to have all of these things? The answer is yes. Yes, they do. And that's what brings in um, great diversity for problem solving, right? We all have different skills, talents, knowledge, experience, capabilities. And when we draw from those, magical things can happen. Respect can be heard in a person's tone of voice and in their nonverbal communication. and in how they address you. So if we sniff back to communication, we talk a lot about words, tone, and body language. The main way we interpret someone's message, over half, 55%, would be their nonverbal communication, their body language. So how do we know? Are we extending that respect to others with our body language? Is there an opportunity for miscommunication in the way that we are portraying ourselves through words, tone, and body language? So again, just like Stacy said here, we can leave your comment up, check yourself, right? Making sure that our intentions are in alignment with our behavior. We even see it in this way, observed by how your coworker or supervisor listens to you and asks questions to make sure they understand your point of view. And are we doing the same? Okay, so we're looking for that from our supervisors, our managers. Are they active listening? Are they, or my preference is to call it just regular listening. I'm hoping we're all actively listening when we're listening, but are they asking us questions? Are we doing the same? Mark's saying a lot of managers have a challenge expecting everybody to perform at the same level. Okay, let's just put the period there and pause. So true, right? We're not all the same. You know, my 100% is someone else's, 30%. I'm trying so hard and someone else is just amazing at what they do. They barely have to try for it, right? I love your insights, Mark. I always sat them down and drew a bell curve. Some are at the right, some are at the left, and most somewhere in the middle. How do you expect everybody to meet your expectations? You are just going to be frustrated until you realize that. That is so true. I know as a parent I've done it. Never mind in the workplace, I've done it in my own home. And it's not fair. Right? Aw, you're welcome, Stonewall. It is apparent in how your organization establishes new rules and policies and introduces them to employees, how they compensate, recognize, and reward you. Now, the other truth is that not every organization has, this. I think when we think compensate, we think money, right? And that is part of it, but are there other ways that we're compensated? Do we have flex hours? Are we given a high five or air high five because COVID in the hallway, right? There are other ways that we are compensated. But this is one of those things we look for. Respect can be determined by how often workers ask your opinion, right? That's another way that we show that inclusion, which is part of respect. What about consulting you about any changes that could affect your job? I often think about the folks that collect shopping carts and how many brilliant ideas they have because they're in that frontline role all the time. Are we looking around and asking questions to everybody? Are we soliciting those opinions from the people who are actually doing the work, right? Oh, definitely. Personal handwritten notes of thanks goes a long way. Not that long ago, I was sharing a session on emotional intelligence, and a gentleman in the group had been with his company for a while, and he was so stunned and so grateful to receive a handwritten note from like a super higher up, like a CEO, thanking him. And he said it wasn't like it was a crazy long letter, but from bro to bro, to get this handwritten note meant so much to him. Now, you guys pulled this in. The very first thing I asked about respect, and what was your answer? Listening. So how do we do it? We listen to what others have to say before expressing our viewpoint. Oh my gosh, do you know how hard that is for me? And maybe for other friends here too. Stacy, I don't know, I'm just guessing. I'm calling you out here. Never speak over or interrupt another person. Oh, this is like my personal confession page, I think. Listen and stop formulating rebuttals and responses in your mind when you need to focus on listening to the other person and encourage coworkers to express opinions and ideas. There are folks on our teams who are quiet. That's their communication style. That doesn't mean that they don't have important and valuable and really cool things to say. Let's encourage that, even if it's, it might not be in a large group. That might not be their comfort level. Let's go to them one on one and pull out those gems. Hmm. Bottom left, super important. Yes. It is difficult with people who are verbal thinkers. Thank you, Diane. I feel better about myself already. My trick, Mark's saying, is to think of questions to ask rather than challenge. I write my thoughts as people are talking so I don't interrupt. Hmm. I do the craziest thing. I cross my fingers. I, I don't know if it's my way of remembering because sometimes I forget, right? And when we start to listen and get taken into their conversation, sometimes as leaders we have certain things we need to discuss, right? And so having those talking points as well is really important. Hmm. Yeah, great tips, everybody. Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Hmm. Often in customer service, we talk about the power of consistency. This is true when it comes to respect as well. Successful companies are consistent with respect. It's just who they are. Can you think of a company um, that models this, that is consistent with respect? And we're pulling in emotional intelligence again, okay? Let's take a look at this thought. Improve your ability to interact with coworkers and supervisors based on the awareness you've gained dealing with people and your emotional intelligence. So as we continue to increase our skills in conflict resolution, in effective communication, in pulling in more empathy and increasing our emotional intelligence, we'll see that ability to interact with our coworkers and our supervisors, right? Thanks, Stacey. Now I have like listen to my heart in my head. This is the third time we've said this in today's session. Offer praise more frequently. Encourage praise and recognition among employees as well as from supervisors. It's not enough once every 6 months, once a year, whenever your formal reviews are, to offer this praise. This is something that we should be doing daily. Oh, but Carrie, they're just, they get paid to do their job. Yeah, I know, but let's offer that praise, let's deliver that respect, and you're going to see it come back. Not because they have to, but because they want to. It's that difference between management and leadership. We're managing process, we're leading people. So let's lead the people with that praise. Thanks, Mark. I was wondering if Apple would be one of those ones in there. Amazon, Microsoft. Yeah, thank you. Cheating is always encouraged in this land, let me tell you. Respect is a requisite for a healthy professional workplace where employees feel valued performing work that is, here's the qualifier, meaningful, right? We want to feel that we're contributing. It increases employee retention. It boosts an organization's reputation as a great place to work. Want you? Well, isn't that where we get most of our important news? Oh, you're going to give me the giggles here. Now, consider your own workplace. And we're not going to answer this in this moment, but think about this. What does respect look like, sound like, feel like, and act like? To me, one of the biggest words that really pulls all of this in is inclusion. It does make others feel good. It even makes us feel good to do it. Our final quote here, going to Maureen Wild, who said, When employees respect each other and get along in the workplace, hey-oh, it's amazing how much productivity increases, morale increases, and employees are more courteous to customers. Happy employees equal happy customers. It just spills everywhere. Yes, management by walking around. Awesome. I love this. You guys are amazing. Thank you for this wonderful discussion. I feel empowered from it. So, again, thank you so much. Take care. This is our last tidbit of the month, I believe. So, happy holidays and all of that. And we look forward to spending more time with you in the new year. Take care, everyone. Oh, last moment, Stacey, caring about their feelings, their talents, their hopes, their ideas, and letting them know they are valued. Love it. Heart is bursting. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Dana. Take care, everyone.